Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 Howl. It's officially official that Logan Cooley signed his 3-year entry-level contract with the Arizona Coyotes after a pretty crazy Wednesday morning and afternoon. All the cryptic messaging. I mean, look at right here. This cryptic tweet. I'm so disappointed in myself for not catching this when I saw it, and a lot of people didn't even notice it. I mean, this offseason, the admin for the Arizona Coyotes Twitter has been unhinged, so it didn't seem like out of the realm of possibility that they're just, out on a loony case and tweeting whatever they need to tweet to get attention or what have you. It made no sense to me. But, as I'm into video games, into music as well, big fan of Hideo Kojima, the creator of the Metal Gear Solid series Death Stranding. This is a pure Kojima cryptic tweet that I'm disappointed I didn't catch. And being, a major Death Grips fan back in their heyday, when they're a really online band, they had all these alternate reality games with their fans, clues here and there for their next album release. Just didn't really have it in me. Maybe I'm showing my age here a little bit, but finally it's official. Cooley signs. Just so much to talk about right away. Those line combinations I made, a day or two ago, that could get all thrown in the trash. It is crazy how much this forward lineup changes with the sign of Cooley. He is not going to be on your fourth line just to ease him into the NHL. He probably will be second line center. Some people say he should try out with first line center with Keller and Schmaltz. I mean, anything could happen. He is a highly touted prospect, the best forward centerman in that draft class of 2022, and he is going to play for the Coyotes this season. It won't even take long for us to see him play in a Coyotes jersey. September 15th announced is the rookie tournament in Vegas that the Arizona Coyotes will be a part of. Maybe he'll go to Australia and play on those Australia teams. Maybe fans in Australia can see Cooley then. But it's only going to be a couple, 5, 6, 7 weeks until he plays in that rookie tournament. The Coyotes should be loaded for that rookie tournament. But a lot of things to talk about, like I've already said. Keller and Cooley are part of the same agency, so there's some hidden context there. Cooley did come out and say shortly after the voted no Tempe vote that he was going to return to college. It just added salt to the wound that the Coyotes fans did not want to hear. We wanted him, and me especially, I wanted him to come this season because there was a gaping hole at second line center. But Cooley said after the vote he's going to go back to college. A couple months go by, Bill Armstrong, huge credit to Bill Armstrong over this summer, getting big names, not huge NHL elite names, but just veteran NHL players and some good talent in free agency and some trades. Jason Zucker, Sean Durzi, bringing back Nick Bukestad, getting Alex Kerfoot. Maybe that showed Cooley, hey, we kind of want to win games this next season. This next season's not going to be a tanking year. We're going to be cheering for this team to win every single game. There won't be that elephant in the room of, we need a tank to improve our lottery odds. It's full blast, win as many games as humanly possible, and see where we land. That's going to be the type of season we're going into. So maybe, with those signings and Keller talking to Cooley with the same agency. I know Keller's been the maestro a little bit in partnership with Bill Armstrong. Keller wants to compete. After the vote, he was severely disappointed amongst everyone else who's part of the Arizona Coyotes and their fans. So he wants some stability. Bill Armstrong does that. So it seems like Keller might be, getting that captaincy if he's, pushing the team to make these moves. And they're not moves that are detrimental to their future at all. We saw last year that the tank failed. You cannot tank anymore because they tried last year and got 6th last. So what are you going to do? The only way to tank more is to literally trade Keller and Schmaltz just to bring this team to its very, very bare bones, but obviously they're not going to do that. They got their prime draft pick in Cooley. You add Gunther in this year, and the expectations are going wild. I mean, once this news was hitting yesterday on the Twitterverse and Discord, people saying, are they going to make the playoffs? the Central Division is so weak. For me, my head went that way too. It's been a whirlwind. So exciting that we're going to have one of the top prospects outside the NHL play for the Coyotes next year in the same division as Connor Bedard. So we might see both of them battle it out for the Calder Trophy, the best rookie of the season. And there's so much talent in this forward group. I don't even know where O'Brien. I don't even know who you replace in this lineup for O'Brien and Carcone to play. I mean, for me, my fourth line is now turned into a McBain, Boyd, and Kerfoot line because there's so much talent that everyone's a top 9 forward on this team except for those 3 players. I mean, Kerfoot could be a top 9, but I don't know who you replace there. Maybe you replace him as third line center for Bukestad. Now Bukestad becomes your third line center because Cooley's going to take one of the top 2 center positions. So it just makes this forward group one of the best we've had. It could be the best we've had in a decade, and it's not even hyperbole. There is so much talent on this roster, and there's literally no more anchors in this forward group. For sure, the defense, we could talk about it for days, is a bit suspect. But this forward group, there's no more anchors like Louis Eriksson, Jay Beagle, Andrew Ladd, Alex Galchenyuk, Nick Ritchie, Brett Ritchie, Zach Cassian. There's no more of that type of player. The only player I could see close to that is literally O'Brien. But we all know why he's there to actually fight, whereas those other players rarely fought, if at all. So there's no real weak points in this lineup other than maybe, they're maybe a bit too young, and Zucker and Bukestad are kind of the veterans of this forward group. But we could talk about later. Just wanted to gush about so much talent they have. And will it lead to a trade? I mean, does Boyd get traded? Now he's expendable. But at the same time, you don't want to start making trades just because you are adding Cooley. Injuries are going to happen. And we all know Nick Schmaltz will get injured at some point this season. He always does every season. So I like the versatility and flexibility this forward roster has, where everyone has talent, everyone could score, every one of these guys could score 15 to 20 goals. That's not hyperbole either. I don't know who you pick out of this that won't score 15 goals. Kerfoot, he can do it. Carcone is probably the only one who probably can't do it, but like I said, him and O'Brien are now my extra forwards in here because there is just so much talent here. And another thing to talk about is their contract limit. With the signing of Cooley, they have 48 out of 50 contracts, which means they can't really do much. They got to still sign McBain, so that'll be 49. And if they want to, they still need to sign Unique. So that brings them to the 50 contract limit. And then there you can't acquire any more free agents. There's been so many rumors swirling about Matt Dumba. If you sign McBain and Yannick, you got to make a trade to bring in Dumba. A lot of GMs like to have contract flexibility during the season for waiver pickups and other scenarios. So you kind of want to be at that 48, 49 limit. And like I said, they're already at 48 with the McBain. Will bring them to 49. So, maybe some things are in the works after bringing in Cooley. I wonder, I won't say Bill Armstrong's mad. Obviously, no one would be ever mad that Cooley's joining your team, but he made all these moves with the thought that Cooley wouldn't be on this team. And now you have to add in Cooley and just so much players to work with and deal with. I wonder if Bill Armstrong does need to make some moves just to make this roster make more sense. Have some more grit on that fourth line, but that's for another day. Cooley will obviously get that power play 2 position. For me, my power play number 2 had Bukestad or Kerfoot as a centerman because Hayden would take the first power play centerman position, and then after that, it's like, who are you going to put, Bukestad or Kerfoot? That was never ideal, but it was what you have to do in this type of season where it's a developmental season and not a season where you're battling for a playoff, so I was okay with it. But now you add Cooley as that perfect power play number 2 centerman, and this forward group is just amazing to look on paper. I really hope the offense is just electric this season. It's been a lot of years of middling offense, below average goals for per game, and who isn't excited now as a Coyotes fan to come into this season after such a terrible start to the off season with the vote going no, and now all these great free agent signings, some good veteran NHL guys like I've already mentioned, and now you add Cooley. Just the hype around this team is unbelievable. It's palpable. You could feel it. Everyone's excited, and we've kind of forgotten about the arena situation for a little bit, and I think that's a good thing for now. We just gotta let Javier, Alex Morello handle that and deal with that, and just all we can concentrate on is the hockey team and what goes on the ice. And this forward group, man, it's crazy how much talent there is. And maybe it's another video to make. Is this the best forward group we've ever had, or in the past decade since they made the 2012 playoffs? It could battle for it. And a lot of sneaky skill in this forward group, and just really excited. I had no idea this was coming. A lot of people didn't have any idea this was coming, but Wednesday it all changed, and now we get to see Bedard versus Cooley in the Central Division this year, and just see the starting of a progression of an elite player, and hope to God he lives up to it. And what's great is that this team's not even done. Every year after this, they're going to just add more great prospects. Next year, I can see Geeky and maybe Simashev make the roster. The year after, maybe Lamoureux, Daniel Boot, Josh Stone. It's like every year you're going to add more and more better talent and skilled prospects while still maintaining all that draft capital you have. Like in 2025, they have 4 second-round picks. They still have all their first-round picks for the next 3 years. They have boatload of picks still, and they're going to start injecting this talent and skill onto the roster that already exists. It's starting to be a fun time. Just get that arena deal settled, and not sure what fans of other teams can really stab at us with, with making fun of us. Like, this could be a very underrated forward group moving forward. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for watching, and thank you for your support.